Hey everyone, welcome to the Ratitude podcast. I'm excited to be with you here today. I was running this morning trying to think about what I was going to talk about, and the thing that popped into my head was manifesting. Manifesting. What does manifesting really mean? It means getting what you want out of life. And how do you do that? As I think about my life and the direction and the journey, it's been one of manifesting one after another, after another, after another. And I remember it started when I was just a kid. And I used to just dream all the time, dream of being a baseball player, then a runner, then, whatever it was. It seemed like those kinds of things happened without knowing how it was happening. And in my personal development journey, I've gone to so many different trainings now and learned so many different processes to actually manifest that it's become easier, and the acceleration is just going wild, and it's really fun. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today, because everyone is on a journey. Whether you know that you're on a journey or you don't know that you're on a journey, you are on a journey. And you might not be conscious of it. You might be just going through life. Or you might be on a journey like myself and going to different personal development kinds of things and learning stuff, and you get it for about a month or so, and then you come home and life hits you, and before you know it, you forget it, and then you're struggling. In fact, a friend of mine contacted me recently and asked me to start working with them one-on-one in a coaching situation, which I do for very special friends and clients. I don't want to take on too many, but if you're one of my very special friends who wants to be a client and learn how to do this stuff, reach out to me and maybe we could work together. I made him a deal that I only want to work with him if he's really serious about this, and that I want a year commitment from him and want to know what he wants to accomplish, and that we're going to go make it happen. And then there's a money back guarantee. I learned that from Jay Abrahams, who said, if you really believe in your product, just give a money back guarantee, because it forces you to be better, and it forces the other person, and it gives confidence, and. Anyway, that's what I did. That's what I do. And I'm excited about working with another really pretty cool person who knows a lot and has been on a big journey himself, but we're all on different journeys. And that's what I want to try to emphasize, is that you're on your journey, and just become conscious of your journey and become conscious of what else is available there on your journey. And I kind of like to always come back to and reference a lot of different things, but Celestine Prophecy was one of my favorite books. I probably read it 25, 30 years ago. I looked it up once to see how old it was. And I don't remember the total story, other than, there's this guy and he goes on search of these insights, insights to life, how you're supposed to live, the meaning of life, whatever it was. They were insights, as I recall. And on his journey, I think it was in South America, and it was kind of dangerous, but there were clues along the way on, what he needed to do on his journey. As he became aware of what was happening and just noticed things around him, he became, what's the right word? He saw more. And it led him on the journey. And I think that's the way life is. As you become more aware, you become conscious of your unconscious. Stuff shows up in your life to point you in the right direction. And I started thinking, how would someone really start? If they didn't know what to do, what would they start with? Let's say some challenges have happened in your life. I remember the last time I had sort of a big challenge for me, and somehow popped up on my news feed this program for men. It was for men, right? On how to overcome a loss. And one of the things that was part of their program that I really liked and had done and continue to do is just think about, they called them, I think, little victories. Little victories. Like, I went for a run this morning. That was a little victory. Afterwards, I swam for 20 minutes. That was a victory. If I would have done my journaling, that would have been another victory. If I take my supplements that I've committed to doing, that's a victory. And then I changed it to little big victories. I don't know if you've seen that or saw that Reese Witherspoon mini-series or series on either HBO or Showtime called Little Big Lies. Anyway, I just like the term, little big. So I called them little big victories. And now every time I do something that serves me, that benefits me, that moves me towards my goals, my vision, the things that I want to manifest, no matter how little they are. Like even doing this podcast. This is a little big victory for me. Whatever it is, brushing my teeth, taking a shower, shaving. So I can pile up a series of little big victories early in the day, in the middle of the day, at the end of the day, in the middle of the night. Thinking about what you're thinking about is part of the process, but also kind of boosting you up, boosting your vibration, boosting your, who you are, your charisma, your energy, your power, your thinking, your thoughts, whatever it is. I do it now because I've learned that my vibrational state is important in manifesting. But that was years down the line on journey. When I first started, I didn't know what that even was. I just wrote affirmations. And I've talked about this in the past where I wrote 3-part affirmations. So because of my passion for track and field and cross country and running and teaching, I am the head coach at a Division I university in the United States. And that makes me feel like I've accomplished something important in life. I wrote that affirmation when I was a 25-year-old young chemical engineer working for Exxon, had no business thinking about becoming a track coach. Only it happened. Took 25 years. I thought about it a bunch. I took action. Didn't just think about it. I took actions. I felt it into being too. So remember, your personal reality or your life is totally dependent on your personality. And your personality consists of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. All three of those things. Now, a lot of people want to change their personal reality or their lives as the same personality, and it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. So the first step, you got to realize that if you want to change your life, if you want to change your personal reality, you have to change you. And you is your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings. And I think a big step is becoming aware of your thoughts, becoming aware of your actions, becoming aware of your feelings. In fact, your feelings provide a really good guidance system for where you are in life. If you're feeling good, you're in a good place in your life. If you're not feeling good, it's probably an indicator that you're not in a good place in life. So change your thoughts, change your actions, change your feelings. It's a little big victory. Anytime you can change a thought. So research shows that we have 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts we had the day before. 90%. If you think about it, it's true. They did research on this. They found this out. 90% of your thoughts are the same thoughts you had the day before. And 70% of your thoughts are negative. Wow. So 70% of your thoughts are negative, and they're the same negative thoughts that you had the day before. And we just keep doing it over and over and over again. as you become aware of your thoughts, you can change them. And that's what I encourage people to do in whatever way you want to do it, because it's different for every single person. So one of the things that I did early on is I read this book called The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. And she recommends a process called morning pages. It's journaling, but she recommends that every morning get a journal. I'm on my 15th big thick journal. And you just write 3 pages of whatever pops into your head. And mine have morphed over time. There's times where I wrote about what happened the day before. And, I was probably writing it just to get my 3 pages done. Now, this process was to stimulate your creativity, so it's a little bit different than journaling. And I found that I started writing better. So instead of writing the way I normally write, like, that tree over there fell down and it just was dead, to more beautiful writing. That beautiful moss-covered tree with the aspen turning leaves gently fell to the earth. And as it fell, it had a thud and bounced like a fighter on a ring when they're knocked out by Muhammad Ali. Something weird like that. I used to think that kind of writing, I don't know why that 3rd grade teacher was trying to write that way or trying to convince me to write that way. I couldn't write that way. But it turns out it's pretty cool writing. I was just reading a book last week. And it was one of these mafia kind of books. I don't read them very often, kind of Godfather-ish. But it was more like I wrote when I was a 3rd grader. It was an interesting story. But I learned that I didn't really like the writing. I wanted to be more colorful, more emotion evoking. And that's kind of what can happen if you do morning pages. Anyway, I said journaling. I get kind of off track. But journaling is a little big victory. And there was a time in my life where I started writing what I wanted to manifest in it. And I called them prayers or affirmations, or I was writing to God or source, the universe, or higher power, whatever you believe in. I just wrote, this is what I want. I want to go for a walk today. I didn't write that. I wrote, I wanted to get a new client today, or I wanted to lose 5 pounds today, or I wanted to get a new idea for a business day, whatever it was. I would write those things down, and I started noticing that those kinds of things started kind of happening, or at least the clues, the Celestine prophecy, synchronicity clues started happening. And I thought, that's pretty cool. Maybe this process works. Maybe the ask and it is given by God or your inner being or truth, or I don't know. I'm just so new to this world, and I'm guessing a lot of people that might be listening to, you're like way advanced than I am. And that's pretty cool. I just suggest that you become aware of your thinking and be aware of their surroundings so that you can continue to move forward and manifest even more. Because one of the things I've found is that even when we know all the processes out there, why does it not necessarily happen? Why do we forget? Why do we forget to do what we've learned to do? You got to just keep doing it. You got to become conscious of your unconscious. So little big victories, noticing the things around you, I think are really important to manifesting. Affirmations, incantations. I call it rad-did-tudes. I always like to customize everything. So, incantations, that's from Tony Robbins. So that implies you can do something, which, yeah, you can do anything. But did you do that? Rad-did-tudes. I really like that because it implies that you already did it. So if you set a goal, raditude, that I am the head coach at Pepperdine, and you feel it and you think it and you sense it, you visualize it, it's more likely to happen, right? Raditudes. So you can do your own kind of affirmation. There's a lot of ways to manifest, right? And wherever you are in life, that's what I want you to start to do or to continue to do or accelerate doing, is to ask for what you want. And now you got to ask in a way that you're not coming from a place of lack. So a place of lack is, I don't have something, so I want something. I think your ask is already as if it's occurred, as if you did it, raditude. So you've done it. So I already felt like I was the head coach at Pepperdine. Well, not at Pepperdine, at any Division I university. And it just happened to be the one that the things in life led me toward. And there was just almost miraculous things that had to happen for that to occur. Because I was a chemical engineer. I was started to coach at a high school. And before I knew it, I was the head coach at a Division I university. That just doesn't happen. All sorts of things had to line up. But most importantly, I had to be able to see them. I had to see what was lining up for me. And I suspect for you, things are lining up for you in your life, and you get to see them better as you vibrate higher. How do you vibrate higher? You think about things that cause you to vibrate high. So remember I said that 70% of our thoughts are negative. As you become aware of those negative thoughts, those are low vibration thoughts. So they don't help you get anywhere. As you become aware of your thoughts, if you say, oh, there's a negative thought, what can I do? What can I think that would be different than that? Let's say I have a thought, it looks like it's going to rain today. Bummer. I'm getting ready to go to the airport to fly to Las Vegas. I'm looking at the weather there. It looks like it's going to rain there. I'm going for my friend Matt's 60th birthday party. He's got a 3-day party for his 60th birthday party. So I didn't go to his 50th because I didn't know him then. But I've heard about his 50th, and it was amazing. And I probably shouldn't say this, but whether you like this or mostly don't like it, but it's Matt. It was a big deal. And one of many highlights that I heard about was I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. They had midget tossing. That's bad. You shouldn't do that. But they did it. And I guess it was offensive to people and should be. But they did it. It was spectacular, I guess, for the kind of people Matt knows. I don't know what's going to happen on this 60th birthday party. But did you see how I started smiling and vibrating a little bit high when I started thinking about what the heck is Matt going to do at his 60th birthday party? And I forgot that it's going to rain there. And rain, in my world, probably for some people, rain is kind of like a cool thing you get excited about. I don't like rain. I like the weather to be 70, 80 degrees every day of the year. Sunshine, no wind. Perfect. Every day of the year. Don't need changing seasons. In fact, I'm changing locations in order to create this. So I've decided that I'm going to live in Florida in the wintertime, where it's about 70 to 80 degrees every day. There's no humidity. I got that white sandy beach of Naples to run on. There's no bugs. It's perfect. And then when it gets too hot, I'm going to go to California and live in California near the beach. And it's going to be 70 to 80 degrees every day and sunny. Although they've had a lot of fog this year, so fog, go away. When the fog comes in, I'm going to have to go someplace else. I probably won't. Well, I probably will. But you get my gist, is that even thinking about, this 60th birthday party that Matt's going to have and what kind of crazy thing he's going to have. Am I going to be offended? Am I going to post about it and get people offended about something? Or is it going to be really mellow? Maybe it's going to be like ballroom dancing. It's not going to be, but maybe it's going to be like ballroom dancing, and I'll be able to show my Moon River. Na, 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 na. That's the song I picked for my dance. I just started dance class, what was it, about May or so, April or so. And then they talked me into being in this dance showcase, like Dancing with the Stars. It's on December 16th in Naples. And I picked my dad's favorite song, Moon River. I think that was his favorite song. At least it was one of his favorite songs. At least my memory of it is that's his favorite song. It's kind of a cool song. I got this amazing instructor, Barbara. She's from, I think, Bolivia, and I shouldn't say this either, but so sexy. She's my personal dance instructor. She's so fun. And she's teaching me this routine to Moon River. I'm going there next week to do it in live, because I've been gone from Naples for quite a while because they're remodeling my house. So we've been doing Zoom sessions. So even though I've been traveling all over the world, we continue our dance lessons on Zoom. So it's sort of like this. In fact, I had a lesson here yesterday in this little room, dancing, boom, boom. I got to learn all the walking, box step. It's a waltz I'm doing. And then these turns and grapevine and the gingerbread, and it's really cool. I'm sure I'm going to have it recorded, and probably embarrassingly, I'm going to post it on my site. So after December 16th, you're going to get to see my dance. But one of the reasons I do it, I vibrate high. I got this amazing instructor she vibrates high. And that's really the part that's sexy. I mean, she's really cute too. Young, so it's not like that. It's just really fun to be around high energy kind of people, isn't it? That reminds me that they say that if you want to have more money or be more spiritual or be healthier or whatever it is that you want to do. So this is another strategy for manifesting. Surround yourself with 5 people that got what you want. 5 people that are either wealthy, if that's what you want is money, or that are spiritual, if that's what you want, or are head coaches at universities, if that's what you want, or are in great relationship, if that's what you want. Whatever it is that you want, seek out and find 5 people and befriend them and hang out with them. And it just sort of, I don't know how it works. It helps with the manifestation process. So that's another big little victory, is finding those kind of people to be around, right? So I think that vibration is more and more important than I ever imagined. But it took me, 40 years of personal development to discover that. I probably was doing it along the way, but now it's very conscious. So now I'm always monitoring, how am I feeling? How am I vibrating? What are my emotions? And if they're low, I'm catching myself and saying, what could I think about that would be higher vibration? And what I like to think about are things that are fun and interesting. And I have a whole repertoire of things that are fun and interesting that I could think about when I'm thinking about something that isn't going well. Because like you, I got a lot of stuff in my life that's really challenging. And I try not to dwell on them. I try to think about fun and interesting things. So even a crummy thing like rain in the forecast that would get me so down. Instead, I think about, Heck, I'm going to 60th birthday party for Matt. Get to celebrate my friend. And he's going to have some crazy things, some of which I probably won't do because they're too crazy. Some of which I am going to do. In fact, tonight, we're going to see a comedian named, Carrot Head? I don't know. I've never seen Carrot Head, except for maybe little snippets. I think it's like really stupid humor. For whatever reason, Matt thinks he's the funniest guy in the world. So all of us are going to see Carrot. It's not Carrot Head, it's Carrot Top, isn't it? Anyway, he's got this red hair. Looks like a carrot, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to go, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun because there are going to be high vibrational people there because that's all that Matt knows. Probably knows a few that aren't. I could think of one. Anyway, I won't sit next to him, right? And then tomorrow night, after our birthday dinner, I'm going to see my favorite comedian in Las Vegas, Sebastian Maniscalco, or however he says his last name. Sebastian, he's this Italian comedian that I first saw twice in the Improv in Hollywood when he was nobody. So, I sat in like the third or fourth seat from the front. I like to sit close. And so he was like 10 feet from me. And now he's playing in like Caesar's Palace and the front row seats are like $2,000. I saw him for $20. He's so funny. If you haven't seen him, he's got a Showtime or HBO special, one or two of those. Or he's got all these YouTube video clips, and his facial expressions are so funny. I just think he's funny. But thinking about that, if I had this thought about, jeez, it's gonna rain. I don't like rain. You get all wet. I know it helps the plants grow green. But I got a hose. I can water them. But if I think about Sebastian Maniscalco, going to see him, going to Las Vegas, where I was born. Las Vegas is my birth city. I was born there. When I was born there was only 25,000 people in town. Now there's over 2 million. Not that I really like Las Vegas, but it's kind of a cool thing to be going back to your birth city, isn't it? I took another friend back to her birth city. And it was really cool just watching her experience with that. So I think there's something about it. Even if I don't know if it always is good or not. I guess if you choose to make it good, because there was a lot of things that sucked about growing up in Las Vegas. Really sucked. There's a reason it's called Sin City. By third grade, I think all my friends were into drugs and alcohol. One or the other or both. And I wasn't. By fourth grade, now it's kind of hard to believe. How old are you in fourth grade? Like 10, 11, something like that. Fourth grade, sex parties started. I was scared of that. I didn't go to that. That was weird. Fifth grade, first friend died of an overdose. Las Vegas was tough growing up. But it was my birth city. And I could choose to think about the stuff that sucked, or I could think about, it was my birth city, and riding my bike in the Honda hills and jumping off the hills and playing baseball and going to Tule Springs and Mount Charleston and sneaking a little gamble. And I remember in junior high, Evel Knievel was jumping the Caesar Palace fountains, and we all snuck out of school to go see it. Didn't even know who Evel Knievel was. It's just everyone was sneaking out of school to go see it. So I could think about those things and vibrate high. Or I could think about the rain and the challenges. I remember getting on the bus and being so afraid because people were beating up each other all the time on the bus or on the playground. There were some challenges. There were some challenges, but I choose to come up with little big victories. My little big victories are thinking about anything that's fun and interesting. Thinking about Matt's birthday party is going to be fun and interesting. It's going to be crazy. Got Carrot Top. We got Sebastian Manacusco. We got a bunch of high vibrational people that I'm sure I can find many groups of 5 people there that are either rich or spiritual or have great relationships or have done a movie, because that's one of my projects in the next year or two is to turn my book about my parents' escape from Hungary into a manuscript, which I'm all excited about. Remember, the writer's strike is over with. The writer that I hired the night before the writer's strike has started writing the script for my movie. And my producer is starting to reach out to actors, actresses to play the parts of my mom and my dad. Is that cool? Is that cool? Now, it might rain some, but along the way, I'm going to think about sunshine and baseball. Baseball playoffs are starting now, huh? I don't really like it anymore, but when I was a kid, I wanted to become a baseball player. And going to Las Vegas, my hometown, and all sorts of fun and interesting things. I think this is what I've discovered in my, 40, 50 year personal development journey. That how you vibrate, how you feel are so, so important to that manifestation process, no matter what manifestation process you use. That's how I started this, was on manifestations, right? So a big part of that is you ask, and it is given. You ask, and you don't dwell on it. You ask as if it's already done, right? So I can already see, let's take the example of this movie that I just brought up. I can already actually see me sitting with a few good friends around a round table at the Oscars in Hollywood and hearing Adam Sandler announce that the winner for the best picture of the year is Magyar Vagyok, or whatever the American name is going to be. That's what I named. That's the title of my book. Magyar Vagyok is Hungarian for I am Hungarian. That's how my mom wanted it, the book titled. But I can already see that. I visualize it all the time. If I'm out for a run, I'm kind of going dragging. I just start thinking about that. Or that first viewing, on the red carpet. You go on the red carpet. People don't know who I am, but they know who the actor and actress is because I already know who it's down to, and it's pretty cool. You're going to like it. I'm not going to tell you, but I can already see being in that first screening, the premiere, the world premiere of my movie. And it gets me high. It helps me vibrate. And truthfully, it makes it more likely to happen. Whether it happens or not, maybe it doesn't matter. Because the feeling associated with it, I already have the feeling as if it has happened. Is that cool? Remember, the mind doesn't know whether it's real or imagined. So I've already imagined it many times. And it's crazy how this actually might happen. And might is a lack word. How it has happened, right? How having just this little idea, when I was taking my mom to Hungary after my dad passed, and deciding to just voice record her stories, because she's got this incredible library of stories growing up in Hungary. With the going through World War II and the Hungarian Revolution and coming to the United States. And it's a really cool story, being captured by the Russians and jailed 3 times and escaping from jail and continue on and going to the United States and creating a beautiful life. I wanted my kids and my grandkids, future grandkids, and future generations to know this story. And that's how it started, voice recording it. And then what popped up, I had a bunch of recordings, all these stories. I go, shoot, I should put them into a book. And this is what I did. This is what popped into my head. Don't know how, why. Wasn't part of a strategy. It popped into my head. So I became aware of this thought. And the thought was, why don't you just post on Craigslist? Who the heck does this? I posted on Craigslist a little short request saying, I am looking for a ghostwriter to take some audio recordings and put them into a book about my parents' life, escape from Hungary to the United States, so that I could have this for my kids and future generations. I posted that on Craigslist. Within an hour, a woman in Santa Monica, 15 minutes away, writes, says, I am Hungarian. I am a ghostwriter. I've written 4 books already for others. I would be honored to do this. How in the world did that happen? But it did. And it did take 7 years and her and really my assistant, Sandra, to create just a beautiful, beautiful book. And it's amazing. And I have that for future generations. After my mom passed, because she didn't want me to do anything with the book. After my mom passed, I posted on Facebook. Again, I don't know where this came from, but it was just a thought that popped into my head because I'm aware more and more of my thoughts that are popping into my head. And something I suggest you do. It said, why don't you just post a picture of the book on Facebook and say, hey, friends out there, does anyone know of anyone that might help me turn this into a movie? Why I want to do that? I don't even know. I think, or at least I say, is to honor my parents. I don't think I did it to try to make a Oscar-winning movie or make some money or anything. I just kind of wanted to do it. Popped in my head. Sound like a good idea. Oftentimes I get good ideas that pop into my head, and before I know it, I'm trying to make them happen. I'm manifesting them. And again, in less than an hour, 2 friends of mine wrote me and said they know someone who knows someone that's a producer and has produced some nice sized movies. And I followed up with both of them. One led nowhere. The other one led me to this amazing producer who's produced real movies that hit the real screen. And I was able to contact her, told her about my movie idea, met up with her in Venice, California, not Italy, and gave her a copy of the book. She went away and read it and said, this is awesome. In fact, I've been talking with my agent partner who is connected to everyone in Hollywood. And we've got the perfect writer for you. Manifesting. And I met with the writer, beautiful soul that was so excited about the opportunity to write the manuscript for this book. And now, just last week or a few days ago, the writer's strike ended, and now she's starting. It's really happening. It's manifesting. It's amazing. And that's how life often is. We can manifest a lot of things. There's a lot of processes. I've just touched on a few of them here. And I touch on them because I know that you have got different ways that you manifested things. And I want you to just think about when you got something that you really got, that you really wanted, that you asked for, that you dreamt about. What was your process to get there? And try to see if you can go back and get some clues on processes that might work for you. And or go to personal development kinds of programs or listen to YouTubes on how people manifest. And or become one of my few clients, because I don't want a lot. And I can teach you how to manifest and create the life that you've dreamt about, that you deserve, because you are worthy, you are deserving, you are more than enough, you are loving, lovable, and loved. That last statement is really important to get what you want. You've got to develop a process for self-love and to know that you're worthy, deserving, more than enough, loving, lovable, and loved. It's the key to being able to manifest. Oh, there's a bunch of keys, right? You got to know all the keys, or you got to know at least some of the keys so that you can start making progress. And then the keys will start coming to you. And before you know, you can lock all the doors to manifest the life that you want. And then you can actually say, like I say, people ask me, what do? I do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, wherever I want to do it, with whoever I want to do it. And there's a few more of those whenevers or something like that. So today, I'm going to Las Vegas to celebrate Matt's 60th birthday party and see what happens. See who I meet. See that it's not going to rain because it's not. Because I'm manifesting it not to. And it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to tell you about it during our next podcast. And until then, think about what you think about. Think about your actions. Think about your feelings. Use your feelings, your emotions as your guidance system to turn your life into this beautiful place where the world is your playground. This is an amazing life that we have. I want you to enjoy it. Live with gratitude. Until next time, love contagiously. Bye for now.